My name is David Martin, and I teach English, composition. I've been an instructor at Metro for 25 years as an adjunct, and I've taught on every campus and in every building that Metro has, and darn proud of it, too. I do everything that the school asks all English instructors to do, which is celebrate our language, and of course that's maybe the routine part. But I have always taken an interest in finding out who the students are and trying to teach them as individuals. So instead of having a class of 25, I have 25 classes of one each. And after teaching for a long time, I feel that not all teachers do that, but I really try. One of the reasons I like teaching at Metro so much is because we have students from all around the world. I have students from India, every Central American country, 2 from South America, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India. It's like teaching at the United Nations a little bit, and I just love it. I've had many lives. I didn't start teaching until I was 35 years old. People say I don't look like I'm 110, but I was in sales management with Procter & Gamble for 11 years. I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Cornhusker. I was born in Falls City, Nebraska, but with Procter & Gamble I moved from Nebraska to Oklahoma to Wisconsin to Michigan. Some people join the Navy and see the world. I joined a top 25 company and saw a lot of the United States. And then realized that what I was really interested in more than anything else was education. I went back to school, got my master's degree, and here I am. I've been fortunate. I've had a lot of good teachers, but I've always said that my favorite teacher was Dr. Les Whipp at University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And he was the most intellectual person I have ever met without any ego whatsoever. You hardly see those two together, I think. And I really respected him for that. And he was so down to earth in every class, and yet I learned so much in every class that I'll never forget him. So every day I try to model his behavior that I saw him teaching us when I was a student. He could relate to every student in class, and he was so gifted in so many ways and just so downright humble that everything he said wound up being a story, wound up being a metaphor that he could slide right into the student's mind with a laugh, with a joke. You could almost see the minds open, and just as soon as the minds of the students opened because they were laughing at one of his crazy little stories, boom, here came the message that he was trying to deliver. It was masterful, and every day that I've taught, I've tried to imitate that the best I could. Dr. John McKenna at UNO has been a fine mentor. He's just retired from UNO. Dr. Bruce Baker, both English professors. Every day I get up, it's fun to go to class. This is, I guess, where I'm at right now. It's something people say more often than not. I thought you were retired. And I said, well, I just get tired. But I keep wanting to come back. I see progress in the students, and it's fun. I really like doing it, and why not? When we come to a fork in the road, that's not a negative, that's an opportunity. And writing is one of the best ways to find our future. I end all my letters with 2 words, right on, W-R-I-T-E, and I end my classes that way too. And the students laugh, but years later they will be walking down the hall or see me on the street or something in the mall. Right on, man. And they spell it correctly, W-R-I-T-E. I saw a student last term, and it had been 10 years since he was in my class. He saw me and go, "You're the crazy journal writer." All my classes at Metro are in wonderful new computer labs, and I really enjoy teaching in that environment. I have a lot of students who take my class. It might be the first class they have in college. They haven't really adjusted to the computer world. They may not have computers at home. And if they want to write by hand, that's fine, but it doesn't take long, and they realize that computers aid them in so many different ways, from doing the rough draft and planning and outlining. And then we also have opportunities to learn how to type and type faster and read faster. And my goodness, it's fun to see that progress that technology allows us to jump into the future with. So when I first started teaching, I remember I had a lesson plan for every class. And I thought, wow, that's great. So the second year, I thought, well, that's not strong enough. So I had 2 lesson plans for every class, because one lesson plan doesn't touch every student. In the third year, I had 3 lesson plans for every class every day. By the 5th year, with 5 lesson plans for every class, I was pretty much touching every group that was in the class. But I do feel, like I said earlier, that if I have a class of 25, I've got one person in 25 classes, which means I'm teaching them individually, and I really enjoy that challenge every day. I teach for fun. That is my passion. I just love it. I knew in 5th grade that I was probably going to teach. And every adult I met after 5th grade said, "Oh, you want to do something other than that, don't you?" And I tried other things. So I let my parents talk me into jobs, and I let my bosses talk me into assignments. And man, all I wanted to do all this time was just teach. And thinking, wow, someday I'll understand why she's coming here all the time. And every week she'd take me down to the library. In 4th grade, it got a little easier. I mean, when I was 4 years old, it got a little easier to carry those books. And then when I was 5, I was furious because she wouldn't teach me how to read before I went to kindergarten. And she did not go to college. I'm the first person in my family to do that. And she said, "Well, I don't want to make a mistake." And I can remember saying, "What?" Well, her good friend was a 1st grade teacher, and the 1st grade teacher way back then said, "Oh, don't teach him. Wait till he gets to school. We'll do it the right way." And I came home from school the first day, and she could hear me crying on the sidewalk walking home from school. And she ran up to me and said, "Did you fall down? Are you hurt?" "No." "Why are you crying?" "I can't read." And she took a deep breath and tried not to laugh. And she said, "Well, it's the first day of school. I guess you'll have to go back tomorrow." I'm writing another book of my own. I'm working on 3 more Fine Lines books, and I have class on Monday. I've been told I don't teach like other people. And initially, I thought, oh, that was a put down. And then the more I taught, the more I realized I don't want to teach like other people because that's not me. I teach the way I teach because that's me. It's almost like listening to jazz music. And I've often compared creative writing to a jazz performance. Creative writing is art in every stretch of the imagination. It's an art form, and not all writers should write the same way. So we play jazz in my class, and we write to the music. Humanity is our race, and love is our religion. I'm David Martin, English instructor, Metro Community College.